Hey everybody, welcome to Get Busy Watching! I'm your host, Honest Dan. Let's talk movies. Sorry for the mini hiatus, I've been playing a lot of Fallout 4. That show was really good. But now I've completed the main quest, I've done a lot of the side quests, and now all I'm doing is the Preston Garvey bitch work, and I am very over that now. So, welcome to my rapid fire for all the movies that I saw in June. Part 1. Let's get this shindig started. Dakota Fanning finds herself trapped in a safe house in a forest full of creatures that watch her and others and will be killed if they leave. Baby Shyamalan is a lot like her dad. Nice ideas, but kind of bad execution. The build-up is really interesting. What are these creatures? What do they want? Who built their safe house? It keeps you guessing and watching the tree lines for anything unnatural. But like her father, somehow, and without giving anything away, Ishana's twist makes the movie worse. You get answers, but they don't make sense. When you ask what and why, you transition into asking what and how, and those don't get answered in a satisfying way. Character traits mean nothing, the writing is lame, and so much more to groan about. Sure, the watchers themselves are unsettling in their design, but that's not enough to save it. I don't care about it. It's not infuriatingly bad, but I do not recommend it. My honest rating for The Watchers, a weak 3 out of 5.
I don't mean to scare you, but we haven't much time. It's not wise to keep them waiting. They'll be very interested in someone new.
Based on true events, Glenn Powell is a fake hitman working for the police, but ends up falling for one of his clients, and then real bad stuff happens. This was a lot of fun and is probably Powell's best role to date. This makes sense, as he co-wrote the screenplay, which means he knew exactly what he wanted to say and how he wanted to say it. Or had some good ideas that got him a credit. The point is, the way he plays so many different characters tailored to comfort his clients for hits was nothing short of incredible. He changes his face and everything sometimes. More than that, the plot is thrilling. Making love to a married client, her husband is an unhinged asshole who tries to hire him to kill her, keeping their relationship a secret from his superiors. It only ever gets more insane as the story progresses, and I can't tell you how entertaining it is. Powell is on the rise, and this is one to not be missed. If you have Netflix, check it out. My honest rating for Hitman, a strong 4 out of 5.
You know what? How dare you come into my own house and accuse me? You know what? Get the fuck out of my house.
Hey, I am on your side. That is why I'm here.
Riley is now 13 years old. As a result, she now has new emotions that are taking over her mind, led by anxiety and pushing the old emotions out. Oh, thank God, I was so worried this would fall short, but no, it's really freaking good. God Emperor Disney pushes so many agendas, and even Pixar hasn't been on their A game in recent years. But this is far and away the best that either has put out. I love the direction they took with Riley's new emotions. While some things may be a little dumbed down for the sake of appealing to the younger audience, it works for what it is, and even got me emotional more than once. The comedy doesn't always land, which kind of hurts, but sidestepping all of that, I like how anxiety is handled and how everything gets resolved is quite the emotional powerhouse. Loved it. I have now seen it twice, so please go out there and support this movie. My honest rating for Inside Out 2, a strong 4 out of 5.
Riley's life requires more sophisticated emotions than all of you.
You can't just bottle us up!
Julia Louis-Dreyfus protects her dying teen daughter from death, which takes the form of a mangy talking parrot. Despite how silly I'm making this movie sound, it's not a comedy. It is a heavy drama. Maybe it's because I'm going through a death in the family, but it hits so much of what I'm personally going through. I love how death is perceived with spite and fear, but there are individuals that are okay with it. The story takes a turn when Julia tries to literally kill death, which has gruesome and disturbing consequences for the world at large, exploring the importance of death, no matter how much we don't want to deal with it. I do think some of the metaphors get lost in themselves sometimes, and the writing doesn't leave room for interpretation, but on the whole, this spoke to me. It may not be for everybody, but if you're a fan of Julia, you need to see her most powerful role to date. My honest rating for Tuesday, a 4 out of 5.
Adam, you need to say goodbye to your daughter.
Garfield is reunited with the father that abandoned him to settle a debt with a vengeful thieving partner and must pull off a milk heist. It's for the kids, it's mostly on funny humor, the story's cliched, but the animation's decent. It's a little distracting that Chris Pratt voices the fat cat. He doesn't have Garfield's signature, lazy, uninterested tone. The animation is fine, keeping all the characters recognizable, which hasn't always been the case in these movies, though Odie seems a bit more aggressive than usual, which throws me off. The humor rarely lands, maybe a couple of chuckles here and there. I wanted to like the villain Jinx, as she's animated so very well and is almost funny, but it never really gets there as a saving grace. Kids might enjoy it, but adults not so much. Not recommended. My honest rating for the Garfield movie, a week 3 out of 5.
Hey, Junior, this is Vic, my father.
You ever jumped a train?
I've never jumped.
Based on true events, Catherine Parr keeps her involvement with religious heretics a secret from her paranoid, abusive husband, King Henry VIII. Didn't care for it. It had an interesting idea, but ultimately delivered something boring. I know it's going for a kind of mystery thriller type thing, keeping Catherine's dirty hands clean while everyone is constantly trying to find proof of her involvement. However, the constant game of tug-of-war is mostly done through dialogue rather than action, hence why it's boring. All talking. This is almost subverted, as the performances out of both Alicia Vikander and especially Jude Law are pretty freaking great. Except for his crown. Why does it look like a bowler hat with kingly pieces? It's not the worst, but it's gonna be forgotten about before long. I would pass on it. My honest rating for Firebrand, a 3 out of 5.
Catherine, I pray no one saw you there that day.
I believe that I was chosen by God to get the king to change his will.
J-Lo accompanies soldiers to capture android terrorist Shang-Chi. Things go sideways. She's all that's left, along with her AI mech that she doesn't trust. It's no cosmic sin, but it's a remarkably unremarkable sci-fi romp. The first act or so is your prototypical obsessive cop needs to find his criminal. The only difference is that she's not a cop, but an analyst. The pieces of a good movie seem to be there. She's connected to the bad guy, has a stake in the success of the mission, but the writing fails every aspect of anything that could be good, despite J-Lo trying her hardest to make the material work. The AI isn't funny and many of the scenes drag. The action is meh, and so many plot elements get no development and make no sense. Fans of Jenny won't care about what I have to say, but as a sci-fi fan, I'm not impressed. My honest rating for Atlas, a week 3 out of 5.
You're our top analyst. I need you here.
I've been in his head. Nobody knows him like I do.
Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett try to clear up framing of Captain Howard's good name, but get framed themselves and go on the run from everyone. I had fun! I was a little lost though because I don't remember which Bad Boys movies I've seen. It's a shameless action romp, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. It doesn't take itself too seriously, it's not making too many points, and just has fun with itself, with Smith and Lawrence both leading the fun in wonderful fashion. That's not to say there isn't heart to it. The family drama isn't half bad, and even the oldest son has a brilliantly kick-ass scene. The villains are generic, though certainly die in fun ways. Not all of the support characters get much to chew on, and certain plot beats are obvious, but very little of that matters. I think Action Junkies will enjoy it. It gets a high recommendation from me. My honest rating for Bad Boys Ride or Die, a 4 out of 5.
I don't know how high up this shit goes, but don't trust anybody. You're my bad boys. Now clear my name.
That concludes part 1 of my rapid fire. Stay tuned for part 2. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Have a great day, stay safe and healthy out there, and hope to see you soon.